That'd still work, because Quality is the original idea. The original idea started with this.
This exact thing.
This
is how Quality has started. Drinks, horrible cars.
It starts with working on a car, then it turns to working on a car and drinking, then it's drinking, working on a car, then it's just drinking, talking about the damn car.
And then it's mostly just drinking, and then occasionally talking about cars between sips.
Between sips of whatever we're drinking.
Anyway, while we're waiting for all the fuel leak to evaporate on the 240 so I can fix that.
Vodka.
Let's talk about this Chaturd. It's not a Saturn. It's a Chaturd.
It's a mix of the two.
Should definitely lemons this. So I bought this thing for $300,
which
is hilarious.
Is great.
Had a brand new clutch, ran perfect when I got it. Just rattled like a fucking maraca.
Why did it rattle?
Because
Also,
the entire interior is made of plastic and not fastened down.
the interior rattles.
The interior rattles like a motherfucker. This is the single car that I have cared about the least, but is the for that reason it's the best. Like I bought this thing, showed up at work, and let 4 people test drive it immediately. They just stopped working just to go test drive this car. It was hilarious. I let a kid rent it like a month after I bought it. He didn't have speakers. I didn't have a radio in the car, so he glued a Bluetooth speaker to my dashboard. And then his dog peed in the car, and he left like food in the car. It smelled like shit when I got it back. We cleaned it all up, and it's like we didn't give a fuck. We beat this thing up in Kent. We were beating the piss out of this, trying to keep up with the 240. We were doing 100 miles an hour through a farm.
Things we shouldn't be talking about.
It's okay.
We also did burnouts in front of the town hall before we realized that's where the town hall was.
Technically, we did it in front of the hill, in front of the town hall. We didn't know there was a town hall there. There was no intention of doing that.
It's this, to clarify...
It was a Sunday. No one was there.
It's this nice little area in front of... There's the main road, right? It's route whatever the number. And then there's a little bridge you got to cross, which limits the directions the police can come from. And then there's this tiny little side road that runs parallel to the main road for a little while, and then it disappears off into the backwoods of Squeal Like a Pig, America.
Connecticut. Squeal like a pig. Squeal like a pig as Connecticut can be.
Squeal like you have money, Connecticut. And then, yeah, it was just a nice little place to do a burnout without actually being on the main road and potentially getting pulled over by any cop who sees you.
Yeah, so we both did a burnout in a straight pipe 240 in this thing.
And this piece of crap, which didn't have a full exhaust at the time, was
it just rattled and was horrible. We do a burnout. We move forward about 100 feet doing the burnout. You know, burnout, peeling start sort of thing. 11s is, as Top Gear calls them. Burnout, and then we come around. We see around the hill, and we're just like, "Oh shit! It's like the Winstead Town Hall."
You spotted it.
I spotted it, and I'm on the walkie-talkie. I'm like, "Fuck, run!"
We were like, "Hey, there's a sign for the town hall. We should go."
We just hauled ass.
I'm like, okay, follow me. We disappear into the woods, and we get completely separated like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we had a 2-mile range on the walkie-talkies.
On the same road.
Yeah, no, it was. There was a minor power difference.
On walkies where... No, I was leaving you behind.
That's why I know where everyone's going.
Because you had no clue where you were going.
No ABS, no traction control. Not that you have that either.
No.
But you don't have power to need traction control.
No, I've also got a lot of time with... I've spent a lot of time with no traction control.
So if I never had traction control on one of my cars, and when I do, it's never on.
This is
I refuse. I will drive. If I had to drive... No, I'm sorry.
I forgot about that.
And when I worked at the dealership, if I had to drive the car across the lot or just around the building to the customer, I turned off traction control. It was off. I don't drive with traction control, and I hate it.
Not worth it.
But
driver's aid useful in the winter if you're just trying to get from A to B.
It just impedes you.
But
if it's winter, just drive sideways.
Actually, case in point, the Jetta I drive, 2012 Jetta S, the 2-point slow, the worst car on the planet because you can't even modify the damn thing. I had to put a traction control button in it because the traction control was so aggressive you couldn't go up a hill from a dead stop in the winter. It would, you would start to spin your wheels and then it would stop the wheels from spinning entirely. Useless.
Yeah.
Useless.
But anyway, so this thing, I just did a head gasket on it for the second time. Because the first time my friend helped me and it did not work at all. It didn't even crank over because what happened was the tensioner for the serpentine belt, you basically have to, at least in this car, I don't know if it's fucked up or something, but you basically had to loosen it and then tension the car, or then tension the belt and then tighten it. Because if you tighten it first and then tension it, it doesn't go full loose. And so it was just basically, the belt was way too tight and a starter just cannot overpower that and just burned out a starter and a battery.
Oh, okay. It overtensioned the...
Yeah. We fixed all that. It does start, it does run. 2 cars in a week that I've got running at, like, just haven't been running in, like, months, and it's just, like, I'm on a roll. So, hit me
it's
up.
great when the stars align.
But we do need to get a new TPS for it, so that's en route.
Is it either set, what, 500?
500, and kind of bogs out. And if you lift off, if you hit the throttle, it revs up, and then you let off, it just drops down to 100 and then kicks back up. Almost stalls, doesn't quite. So everything else works.
Essentially stopping.
Yeah.
This thing came together well. The old
Best thing is I got paid $200 for fixing it, and I bought it for $300. And I sold it.
Made your money back.
Granted, I did sell the car, so I sold it to my dad for car insurance for $240.
Put it back in here.
What are you looking for?
So, the old head gasket. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
This is what happened the first
Where I
time.
put it.
It died on the way home from work. It started driving on 3 cylinders, and then 2, and then I pulled off the highway, and then we couldn't get it onto a trailer. And then U-Haul fucked up the trailer, and it jabbed into the back of my uncle's truck. Oops. But yeah, it's fucked. Anyway, so what we're thinking for this, we don't know. Lots of things.
Many different ideas. None of them cheap. Or smart.
None of them practical either. We're thinking SR20 in the back, a transverse SR20 in the back to pop wheelies.
Which will screw up the weight distribution, but be very cool.
It would be very cool, because, I mean, how
Won't
funny
turn
would it
for
be
shit.
for some Honda kid to be driving around with this racy, straight pipe fucking Civic, and then we just wheelie past him in a fucking Saturn? That's awesome.
Won't turn for shit.
With
but
turbo flutter.
We could give a Dodge Demon a run for its money.
fuck
Timestamp,
no.
the Dodge Demon just came out.
Also, we need a lot of power to compare to that.
Yeah, we can do it. This car doesn't weigh much. We stripped it out, we pulled the whole thing. We put a gas
It
tank.
does
in the
weigh
front.
about half of a Dodge Demon.
It weighs about half of it. If we make half the power,
Should balance out, right?
It'll-
They have
it'll
10
be
speeds,
close.
though, don't they? They don't have the 10-speed transmission?
Oh yeah, we'd have
Or is
to
it an
configure
8?
it.
We'll just do a 7-speed out of a Corvette.
That's fine.
That's cheap, right?
Top speed 150.
Top speed 100.
that's-
If you're pushing it downhill,
That's plenty enough to do the whole drag strip.
they top out at 140 at the end of the drag strip and a quarter mile. Of the
Yeah.
Dodge Demon.
So if you gear it to so like 170 then, because you gain more when you accelerate harder. Words. Right.
But so that's one idea. Another idea, maybe like a either an E20 or E30 325 iX or a Mitsubishi Galant VR4 or a Celica all-track sort of all-wheel drive system that would something with a short wheelbase that would fit in here.
And a transverse motor.
Basically, the only one affordable out of that is the 325 iX, and you'd have to get a routed out one, but we don't care because we just want the motor. The only issue is with the motor is that's not going to fit because it's a BMW straight. That's a 6. That's a 325. It's going to be a straight 6.
It's also inline, not transverse.
It's inline straight. Yeah, it's a straight 6.
Is it inline?
Yeah,
Straight six just means
straight
it's
6
six in a line.
Straight
Doesn't matter
6
what
and long
direction
and
it
it's
is.
longitudinal is what you meant. Not
Yeah.
inline can be in either direction. It's
It's
longitudinal
straight
versus
6.
transverse.
I mean, in line with the.
Yeah, it's a yeah. I thought you meant like it's a straight 6. Like, yeah,
No, straight 6
Yes.
is
Okay.
self-defined. Which dot do I look at? Because I've got 3 to look at. I think the middle one's the flashlight.
Middle one's a flashlight. I don't know which one. I think it's the right one, the top one. Oh, who knows?
Who cares?
Look at the general vicinity of the camera.
I look at the button on the back of it, so I'm not staring directly into somebody's soul every time I do something.
Okay. Anyway,
Right.
so that's an option. This would be a great rally car. By the way, this thing weighs less than a Miata, with full independent
Yeah.
suspension,
This is almost
with a full
entirely-
interior, full bone stock car weighs 2,200 pounds or something like that.
How much of this body is plastic?
All of it. that was Saturn's
Very
selling
definitive.
point is you can't dent it
The
until
roof
it
even?
sits out in this. Well, no, the roof is
The roof is steel.
Basically,
Or
anything that's
aluminum.
replaceable.
Steel.
I think all the fender. I'm not sure if the fenders are plastic.
Are the rear fenders plastic?
No, fenders are plastic. I think the rear fenders are too.
I'm gonna go lean on one. Let's find out.
Careful, it's been sitting on the sun, so it'll probably shatter.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, that's plastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
No.
I hope the camera can see it. Probably not.
No, I'm probably in the way.
I put my hands on it to start leaning on it, and the whole thing just goes in.
I also heard the sound was definitively
Oh,
plastic.
the sound! I forgot about the sound.
The sound was definitely plastic. I heard it from here. I'm like, yep, that's plastic.
It's one of those bits.
So that's an option. Other option.
Cool. I've got half of that on my timer. So I only lost 5 minutes.
Basically, the issue with this car is it's got 175s for tires, which are horrendously tiny. The donut is a regular donut, but it is a full-size spare because it's a
doesn't even
donut, and that's literally the Chevy Spark, the smallest car that Chevy makes, has a 185 tire. You cannot. They're like there's like 2 places that sell tires the size that I could find.
It's a small
the
trailer
near
tire.
vicinity. Yeah, dude.
It's a small trailer tire.
Thankfully, Walmart sells one of them because they know people who drive Saturn shop at Walmart.
It's because it's Walmart. You have
Exactly.
One of everything you don't need.
Except in this case,
Unless
we
it's
needed that.
really low quality. Is this a screw thing?
No, it's just a little Christmas tree thing. You just pull it right out.
I mean,
I pull it out a lot.
I was playing with it, but okay. Garbage.
Perfect. Yeah, there's no throttle body on it. That just kind of decaches.
It's fine.
I love that it has a
By
level
design.
built into the lights.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, actually, the level on the lights. Which, I mean, doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's kind of useless because every casting is different, but it's a cool concept.
back to this. So,
Anyway.
So there's that option. So it's rear-wheel drive, rear engine, all-wheel drive, front engine. Also, front-wheel drive, front engine. We could just do like an SR20 swap, which would be cool. SR20.
It's kind of a.
Do a KA.
It's
KA
more
sounds good.
expected. KA. If we did a 240 swap into this,
Like a rear-wheel drive one?
like rear-wheel drive 240 swap into this, would be a lot of fun.
We were actually going to do that. I had a spare subframe and a spare KA, but I ended up having to sell it to fund my V8 swap.
Didn't you have a diff too?
Yes, I had a diff as well. Which
blown
I
one.
should've- yeah, but that just needed to be rewelded.
Yeah.
Which I have to weld my diff as
Every
well.
one. We can do that. We should put some plates in there.
I got a
too.
plate. I got the
You have
plate that
plates?
I made all my brackets out of.
Perfect.
We could do.
We can
Actually, we were originally going to do a KA, but then I also have a spare VQ, which we were also going to throw in here
I was about to say, does
V35.
would fit in this?
because the
You might have
subframe.
to move your rad bracket forward,
Oh yeah,
but we've got a lot of space between.
It's only 3 cylinders in line.
Yeah,
It's shorter than a
so
KA.
it's still longer than a transverse, is what I mean.
Yeah, but fuck it. The exhaust is on the exhaust and the intake are both on the sides,
They're on the
sides and
sides
top instead of
versus
on the front.
the front,
It won't fit underneath the hood.
Well,
of
that's what I mean.
the
The
stock
overall package, the depth of this package is less than the length of the VQ package.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, actually, the 240 front subframe measurements are pretty close. You'd have to make a few brackets to make it mount because transverse to front mount to longitudinal doesn't ever bolt up, ever.
Don't say that. As soon as we say something like that, the internet will prove us wrong.
That's what I want, so that I know what to buy.
Prove us wrong, bitches. You can't do it.
Enlighten me.
Teach us the ways. We're not worthy.
You're not worthy of the internet's knowledge.
Phil,
Goes out.
that's gone forever. Until
Also-
we pull that out to get to the Audi.
I think ideally, my favorite choice we have for this car would be a Galant VR4. So it's transverse front motor, which would definitely fit.
You get the VR4 aspect of it.
It's all-wheel drive, short wheelbase. It's basically a mini Evo, but in a Saturn. Nobody would expect that. This car would be fast as fuck. 4G 6.3 can make 900 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower. Not that hard. Gigantic fucking turbo. All-wheel drive with a 6-speed or some shit. I don't know what the transmissions would have. I'm sure you can get Evo with 6-speed.
I'm fairly certain it was 6 for the VR4. I don't think they made it with 5.
Well, the VR4 was older, but it's the same. It's the same engine as the Evo, which the Evo you can do 6-speed.
What year was it?
Late 90s.
6.
It was like an Evo.
More than likely 6.
6? No, Evo 7? Evo 8?
Yeah.
I don't know. Evo 8 was
Should I
early
Google
2000s,
this?
wasn't it?
I don't care to Google this. Let's just argue over it instead of Googling it.
Yeah. You are going to get poor information on this, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Don't
None of
trust
this is
anything we
accurate.
say.
No.
We're full of shit.
And alcohol.
And alcohol. The big thing being that last one. If I mumble, I apologize.
But also, if you get the Evo, it's literally, if we get like all the spindles and everything, we basically got a rotted out car and swap the entire
It
drive
would
line into
almost
here.
bolt up.
We basically just need a new drive shaft in the rear. I don't care if the stance is off, track wise, because fender flares and all that shit. We need bigger tires anyway. We can put massive fucking the stock G40 or Galant tires would be way bigger than these. Mm-hmm. It would only increase the weight would increase probably up to close to a Miata, maybe a Corolla.
Yeah, but you're going from a Miata with rear-wheel drive to
an Evo with to a mini Evo.
Essentially a Saturn with an Evo drivetrain and all-wheel drive.
And it's more
At the
aerodynamic
same
than an
weight.
Evo.
And a better
Aerodynamic
slipstream,
profile, yeah.
which is another
Slam it on the
reason
ground,
to show
wide
you
tires. Put some big Evo Brembos on here. Stops them within 3 feet.
porn stash on the front. Does look like a really creepy dude.
If we take the if we get him to do, we've got to stick the Mitsubishi badge on here too somewhere.
We should.
Just like
One of those
directly on top of the Saturn badge.
We could pop the Saturn badge.
No, just bolt it. The Saturn badge is still visible, but there's just Mitsubishi badge
Just
bolted on
drill a
top
hole
of
in it and bolt it right to the top.
Yeah. Got it.
Perfect.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything.
I don't think a V8 would fit in here.
Probably not. Unless we got a really small one. Who makes
Alfa
a really
Romeo.
small Alfa V8?
Ferrari. McLaren.
if we could
McLaren
get-
3-liter.
Yes.
McLaren sponsor us.
Oh, yeah, that'd work.
That would be funny.
That would be pretty freaking awesome.
P1
How funny would that be if they
P1
spotted this?
powered fucking Saturn.
We upload it to YouTube with just shitty editing, and they freaking
No editing. You have to watch the
No
entire
editing?
thing. We gotta
Oh,
make
God.
we gotta make the 10-minute barriers.
No,
we get ads.
we should fast forward. You know what we should do is fast forward all this stuff,
All the stuttering.
all the stuttering, all the radio silence. Maybe clip in some of the crap like how to edit the video, like right now. somebody waving their arm.
Somebody
at
just
the
stuck their
door.
arm out on my front door.
Yeah. Words, brain. You know what would be great? Booze. Not boobs, booze.
Both.
Although the former's pretty good too. Alfa Romeo. Something to zoom in on. Alfa Romeo, the tiny little V8 they made. Oh, is it 2 liter or 3 liter? I think it was 2 liter.
Probably. That's tiny.
It's tiny. It was
That's
a
as
tiny
big as this
V8.
motor.
They put it in their.
This is a 1.9.
Words, brain thing. I googled it earlier.
Julia race car, the old Julia or something?
No, I'll look it up right now. Alfa Romeo Racing V8.
Oh my god, I can't.
Montreal.
There's cat footprints on your windshield.
Montreal. Oh god, I hope the cat hasn't been inside the car. Probably.
He walks. I mean, I don't ever let him in here, but occasionally they do get in here. They're
Uh,
usually only in here when the front doors are open and they're just walking through.
It was a 2 liter V8 they used in the 33 Stradale, is the number I was looking for.
Good luck buying one of those.
Yes. We can probably find blueprints, or at least a rough design for it, or an engine philosophy. So we could, theoretically, cast and machine our own. Assuming I can get
Our
the
budget just went
friggin'
from
tools
too
for
much
it.
to NASA.
Well, no, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I can get all the manual
We're
machines...
at like China Space Agency levels right now.
No.
You
We're
just
not
jumped
even that
straight
high.
from NASA to like.
No, we're not even
you
at
just
NASA.
jumped-
We're still in Zimbabwe. We don't. All we have is basic hand tools and some battery.
We have paper airplanes, and then he just went straight to NASA. We
Not even.
went to India first,
No.
which was the full Evo swap,
I
and
went
now
from-
we're at NASA
I went from-
for Alpha V8.
I went from Zamibia. That's better when I can speak, to China. So if we had basic manual machines, good manual machines, I can make all this shit happen.
One issue
As
with
long as
that
we
is
can
we
get
don't have
cast.
any of those.
But we don't have those.
We have a
Sponsor
Harbor Freight
us.
welder. Yes. Somebody
Sponsor us.
give us equipment to do stupid shit.
I don't care if
We
it's
are
Harbor
capable,
Freight.
we're just
I just
poor.
want a good full-size Bridgeport and a good full-size lathe.
And I think Harbor Freight has a Bridgeport, and they only have wood
They don't
lathes.
run anything like that. And not a wood lathe, a metal lathe.
Yeah,
metal,
exactly.
metalworking stuff.
Somebody who has money sponsor us so we can do cool shit.
Feed us money.
Yes.
Yeah, if we could just get a rough casting from somebody we know somewhere to do something kind of thing, of a 2 liter V8, I could machine it to work in this, which would be fucking amazing.
My question is, would the effort be worth the gains?
Is 13,000 RPM worth that much effort?
We could do that with a rotary, and the rotary would be the same, almost the same displacement if we get a quad rotor.
Yeah, but it's a 2 liter V8. It's
But a
different.
tri-rotor
This
Saturn.
it's a tri-rotor Saturn or a conventional V8 minuscule at 13,000 RPM. Either way, it's 13,000 RPM. Do you want the whine of a tri-rotor, or do you want the scream of a tiny little V8?
I hate rotary engines. I'm sorry, everybody on the internet, but like,
Which is funny
such a
because
flawed design.
I love them.
It's like a boxer motor. It's just it's designed to blow up.
I love them because they're designed purely for racing. They're
Which is
designed
cool.
only to go fast.
As a race car, if you have a race car that's dedicated for racing, rotary is awesome. Boxer is awesome. But if for anything
Boxer
else, if
sucks.
it's a daily, okay, but it's
The Boxer's good for rally stuff where it's going to be rough anyway.
yes, it needs the torque at
It needs
any
the
given.
torque.
Yeah, it needs a torque when you can't
And it
when you
doesn't.
can't fit a V8 in there.
But it's still racing.
Yes,
It's still going to be
it's still
rebuilt
racing. So
between
for
races.
those aspects, those are good. But for daily use, why would you buy a rotary? Like
Yeah.
you
Unless
have to
you got-
rebuild the motor like every 30,000 miles. It's like that's
like-
that's pushing it too.
it's like
That is
owning-
stupid.
It's like owning an old Saab where you need to have the money to support the damn thing in the first place before you can actually use it.
Whoa. Don't bring Saab. Saab is.
I absolutely
I
can't.
love Saab.
Remember
I
the-
love Saab.
the
My
black-
Saab
the
is
black
still running
9.3
flawlessly 3 owners after I bought it with 200,000
Which
miles.
is unheard of. Because
I
my
know.
mom's black 9.3T ran through 3 people and it was toast by the time she got it. The thing was rattly crap.
I was the third owner of my Saab
Which is incredible. I don't know how it lasted that long.
because it was maintained and not beat up like your mom's.
So was
car.
ours. Well, okay, the first owner
Yeah.
was not kind, but the second owner was good to it.
And was your mom?
No, the second
Exactly.
The second owner was my cousin with the CNC Bridgeport in his.
But was your mom a good owner too? Was your mom taking care
Kara
of it?
doesn't know how the fuck to take care of anything.
Exactly.
That's why I told her no turbo cars. Although she did learn how to heat it up. and
Which
cool
is
it
why
down.
I bought it from the guy I bought it from. Bought it from an old lady with it had 30,000 miles on it.
I mean, it doesn't help. that we
His
put
dad
Chinese
owned a
turbo
shop.
cars.
He literally replaced everything under warranty that he could. He literally cheated the system. It was brilliant. Like none of the buttons were even worn off. It was brilliant. He took so good care of that car.
Yours is very nice.
Dude,
Or was.
I miss that car so
It
much.
used to be
I've not had a single person get in that car and say, this is shit.
No.
Like, everybody loves it, that car. And
only thing-
I hate front-wheel drive, but that car was my first front-wheel drive car, and I have no regrets.
The only real problem I have with the car, or that car, is the weird-ass throttle pedal thing it does. Where you lift and the engine doesn't, or you have to
That's
lift.
just a dual mass flywheel.
No, you lift and you have to lift before you gear change. That thing.
Yeah, but it is.
It's not like a normal car where you stay on it and then you lift and hit the clutch and it immediately drops RPM. It would keep the throttle up, so you would lift and hit the clutch and it would rev a little bit.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any device or anything that makes it rev higher. I think it's just a dual mass flywheel.
No, I don't think it was the flywheel. There was some weird throttle thing going on.
I don't think it's all manual, dude. The manual.
Because driving mine, you just go until your foot is on the clutch and then you quick lift while you gear change.
Yours is a dual mass flywheel, but I don't think it's as heavy as a flywheel.
I don't know.
That's what I think. I think it's all inertia because it does come down linearly. It just
that's what I mean.
It goes up and then it kind of has like a very. It's a much wider parabolic rev range as the rear yours is more up and down.
Either way, you would lift to change gear, and the RPM would keep going up.
Granted, any European car could do with a single mass flywheel. Personally, in my opinion,
fair.
Europe has no idea what the fuck they're doing, except for with rust proofing. Rust proofing, you guys know what the fuck they're doing.
Engine wise and rough proofing. No, engine wise, they don't know what they're doing.
No.
But handling and rough proofing, they know what they're doing.
Audi
America,
makes good V8s.
on the other hand, only knows what they're doing with the motor, and the rest of it is kind of...
No, they only know what they're doing with the V8s.
No, there's been some good V6s and inlines. Like the i6...
Nothing noteworthy.
I mean, nothing... Okay, they're bulletproof, but they don't make much power. Like the two something inline 6 that GM and I think...
GM made a 2-something inline
maybe
6?
Maybe not GM. Maybe it was only AMC.
They made a 4 and a 3 inline 6. Or a 4, and then like a 3.8 inline 6.
No, it had to have been GM. They put it in their 50s pickup truck.
Oh, okay. That's way older than I did.
Yeah, the old. When I say old, I mean old.
Yeah, I forgot. Your idea of old is,
old.
Like World War I. My idea of old is like 80s.
Well, because by World War I, cars had already been around for, 50, 40 years by then? They've been a thing for a long time.
The Model T is not a car. It's a predecessor to a car.
It's a car. It's got 4 wheels and a motor and a transmission. It's a car.
For me,
no. What's different is the controls are fucky.
Yes, for me, cars started when they had the legitimate controls that you see everywhere. You could start it up without having to crank it. You didn't have to break your wrist every time you started the car.
That would be.
You had an enclosed cabin. You had wheels that were wider than bicycle tires.
30s Cadillac.
Yes, 30s is when cars started.
Slightly wider than.
Like the Ford Model B. Ford Model B is great. Ford Model A is great. Those are all great cars. Model A coupe.
Model B pickup. And I want to stretch the cab wider, maybe a little bit longer, so you can sit in there without being
cab Model
sheer
T
vertical.
Truck. I want a crew cab Model T.
You can do that. You find enough Model Bs to do it too, or you're good at metalwork.
I just need 2 Model Ts.
And I want to put it on a F250 frame, like one of the 80s or 90s F250 frames, with a modern motor in it and all that stuff. He hears this. That's why he's not too. He's heard this before. That's why he's not too excited.
No, I'm just thinking about it. I don't think we've ever talked about. I don't think we've ever talked about truck before. We never ever talk about trucks. The only time we talk about trucks is the fucking Pathfinder over there, and what to beat it with, or what to beat with that.
That would be great with long arm suspension, 1,200 horsepower.
Specifically, 1,200 horsepower, but specifically from Chris Forsberg's VQ42, 1,200 horsepower, twin turbo, twin anti-lag, motherfucking beast of an engine. Like, holy fuck.
That's a really cool motor.
It gets me hard just thinking about it.
I am not big into V6s or anything less than 8 cylinders, but that is a cool motor.
My problem with V8s is that most of them sound roughly the same.
Yeah.
Audi sound different.
Most of them are LSs.
Exactly, or LS based, which is where mine comes in, because mine was pre-LS. The LS is actually based off of mine.
You are the predecessor. There you go. It's not a real V8.
I sound the same, but you don't know that I'm better than you.
It's not a real V8. It's a predecessor to a V8.
How dare you?
Your own argument turned against you.
That's not a predecessor to a V8. It's just a predecessor to the LS.
Okay.
The 350 was around before the LS. 427 was around before the LS.
Yeah. Actually, that's another motor I wouldn't mind, a 427 or a 454.
Okay. Well, that's my other thing is with V8s, they all sound the same, but once you get to like 427, 7-liter V8s, I don't care what you have. That's fucking amazing. 60s, I don't care who made it. It could be made out of like Barbie parts. That's fucking incredible.
60s and 70s V8s sound very, very good.
So
very,
do the
very good.
New Chevy V8s.
And the new Chevrolet stuff.
Their exhaust notes.
The new Dodge stuff is not bad.
The LT motors.
It's very round.
That's my problem. I don't like the round ones. I like it to make your. I like it to. I don't want your ears bleeding. I want your ears shredded. I want them literally turned into dust. You are deaf from the second I start my car.
Hey, that rack is limited edition. I forgot we pulled that sticker out.
Well, it's like, what rack? Those boobs?
No, not the boobs.
No, shelf.
Not the boobs. I mean the rack over there. That shelf thing. Is it a rack? Could you call it a rack?
Intermission. Need to pee.